Surprise, surprise, surprise. Terry Hardin here, and I'm on time. What? It's because I had a sign yesterday. Do you believe in signs? Something comes across and you say, this is going to be a good week, or what does that mean? Or why did that happen? Or, oh, I'm so glad that's happened. Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, international artist, and public speaker, speaking inspiration and helping you to better see what's up. Pretty much. And this is Terri TV. So, welcome to Terri TV. Guys, I'm glad you take time to spend time with me today. That's really, really sweet of you, very kind of you to pop in your busy Monday. Mondays have a way of being a bit of an anomaly. You think it's going to go one way, and sometimes it goes the other way. So I am knocking on wood because I need my Monday to go smoothly today, as I have a few deadlines I must complete today. So that's the idea. That's the situation. That's what's happening. And today I wanted to talk about some topics, including knowing yourself. And then I wanted to talk about discovering something new and also stepping back. So those are the three things I listed on Terri TV today. And then whatever questions you have, we can talk about that as well. Okay. But Monday, yesterday, we had, okay, how can I say this? Know yourself. So one of the things is, it took a long time for me to catch the love of my life. And we have been married for just about 20 years. And it's been wonderful. It's been blissful. It's been magical. It's been musical. It's been heavenly. Not that there haven't been a few bumps in the roads, but the bottom line is, when you're with that soulmate, life is really so much more than I mean, more than tongue can tell, really. And know thyself is, I like to say that I see signs, and we make a day for us as much as possible. Now, Sunday became a little tiny bit of a family day, but Lindsay was sweet enough, my husband was sweet enough to say, hey, I know you needed to use it because you've got a couple of deadlines that are due today. Got to be in the mail today. And he gave me yesterday. So I want to make sure that sometime this week we can have a family day. Don't know what we're going to do or how, but usually it's just we spend the time together. So know yourself, know your spouse, and know that your spouse wants to know that they're not being taken advantage. So if you're a very powerful artist, a very dedicated artist, a very focused artist, sometimes your family can, become like, like in those special cameras where they make the background nice and soft and you have your subject here. This can be what you're doing. You're focusing only on your project and everything around you is fuzzy. You want to make sure that you take a day, at least a day, to be with your family, to let them know you love them and thank them for allowing you to work like a crazy person the rest of the week. In my case, it's been even crazier because I have some elderly parents that have had some challenges. And so I am the provider of making sure that they're okay. I am the bulldog. I am the lioness that actually gets in the faces of people who start to say things that I don't think they should. I don't let it go very easily. So I defend my family pretty well, and sometimes that's very. If you have elderly parents that you're taking care of, it's a full-time job, and you don't complain about it. You love it, but you have other obligations if you work at a job, or if you're like me and you have deadlines. You constantly are concerned about the deadlines that are being pushed back further because you're taking care of your parents. But the good thing is everyone seems to understand. Bless you. And it gets better and better and better. So I cracked open a couple of eggs yesterday to make a really dazzling breakfast for my husband for family day, and both eggs had 2 yolks. So cracked one open, it was 2. Cracked the other open, it was 2, which makes 4. 2 eggs with 2 yolks in each egg. It was pretty special. Did not have that happen to me in a long. I don't think it's ever happened to me. So it's a good sign that this week is going to be good. So I'm taking it. Knowing thyself, when I tell you about knowing yourself, the reason I say that is, a very busy lady. I speak to schools. I speak to classes. I speak all over the world, or I did before the pandemic, talking to you about what it's like to be an Imagineer or puppet performer in films like Ghostbusters and Men in Black, or even the 1984 Dune, which I was very, very involved in. And then I also talk about, where you can go, how do you make a living doing what you love. I've done it ever since I was 8 years old. I've never had a job that was yucky, and if I did, I left. So, not bragging, but just I had that luxury, if I can say that. I had the luxury of saying, I know I can find a job that will be more conducive to me, so uh, I'm not doing a bad performance, or I'm not being lazy, or I don't have grumpy face, whatever. Sometimes you can't do that. And sometimes you have something that's pulling at you that you'd like to do. My number one advice for that is to do it in the cracks around your current job. And then when that takes fire, you can then, retire from your job and do what you love. Years ago, I got on Kickstarter. You guys all know Kickstarter, the crowdfunding site. There's also GoFundMe, and I'm sure there are others now too. But I went on Kickstarter, and I was guided to this amazing young man who did a video game called Pinstripe. Now, what's interesting is I do not and cannot play video games that move. I get motion sickness, so I can't do that. But he had done this beautiful presentation, and that is half the battle, a presentation of your dream and of your goal. And he had written this beautiful game called Pinstripe about a daughter who is kidnapped to the underworld, and the father must go and get her. This is all that I know, and this was easily 8 years ago, might have even been longer. Young man, and I donated to the project, and I donated for several reasons. First of all, he wrote his own music, and he played some of the music on the Kickstarter pitch page, and it was beautiful. The artwork was stunning and elegant. Just fascinating. Really was impressed by him. And he also explained that he had been working on this video game in between around his job. So he had like a 9 to 5 job. He would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, work a couple hours building this video game. Then he would have dinner, play with his kids after work, and then he would work till midnight doing it. And he had been doing this for 4 years, guys. He had been this dedicated to this job because one day he dreamed of being a video game designer and creating his own line of games. People went crazy for it on the Kickstarter project. Not only just me who donated, but thousands donated. I think he was asking maybe 30,000 to get free. All I need is to get free so I can finish my game and quit my job and finish my game. $30,000, $40,000. I mean, I thought, this is lovely that this is what it's going to take. It's not that much to give him something so he can springboard and do it. But he went well beyond that number and was so touched and so flattered and so lovely. The other thing he did, if you are considered doing a Kickstarter project, which I would like to do myself, he kept in touch, which is one of the things that can be very challenging. And it was the way he kept in touch. So on the day that he ended the campaign, and the difference between GoFundMe and Kickstarter, in case you don't know, is if you don't hit your goal, nobody is charged on Kickstarter. The money is never charged to the people. You must hit your goal in order to be funded. Whereas GoFundMe, it's not the case. You do not have to do that. But he did. He went well beyond that. He got his money, and we didn't hear from him for a few weeks after the campaign was done. We did get he won. Congratulations for, backing such a good person, And, but then about 3 weeks to a month later, he sent us all a video, all a photo of him. It wasn't a video, it was a photo of him. And he was in his, I don't know where he lived, but a place where they have fall. And it was fall. And it was the back of him with his arm around his wife and his little kid playing in the leaves. And he said, I'm sorry I haven't reached out to you. There was a lot that I had to accomplish in these last 3 weeks. One of the things is I left my job. I quit my job. And he said, for the first time in so many years, I was able to take a day, and I've taken several days for myself. And it was a picture of him shot from the back, looking at the fall trees and leaves with his arm around his wife as his little child was playing in the leaves. And it just made you feel so good that you were able to help someone accomplish this, an artist who had worked really, really hard and really, really deserves it. Well, today he's a force to be reckoned with. A company found him, adopted him. He's been designing games like crazy, and as far as I know, doing quite well. I don't back all of his projects. I really like that artist who's trying to springboard. If I can figure out a way to help, then I like to help. So that's mainly what the channel is about, to let you know that you deserve it. If you want to do something that you love, you deserve doing something that you love. You just need to know thyself. And with me, in July, my father went into the hospital, and I stopped everything to take care of him, his bills, manage his house, make sure things were running smoothly, as well as my own household. Call it spinning plates. I was keeping, the person that keeps the plate spinning. This became my life, spinning this one, 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 doing this channel, speaking to you all. Also, I had some projects on my desk I had to do. I have a Patreon page, which, let me just tell you about that if you want to be a part of that. That's where a lot of times, patreon.com/Terri Hardin, a lot of times this is where you get me telling you specifically. You can ask me a specific question and I will specifically discuss it with you. We also have Zoom calls on Wednesdays where we all get together and chat. But don't just think it's about me advising you. Your voice needs to be heard. And a lot of times I love your point of view. I have managed to get some real learning experiences in, and I love to learn a new thing from the people on this page. So be a part of the tribe. It's $5 a month. That's where I keep it, so that you can dip a toe in the water. And if you don't like it, you can leave after a month. But we hope you stay and become part of the tribe. It's a lot of fun and really, really, really good. So I was out of my studio I just got into my art studio for the first time in months, about 10 months. And I began to realize I really needed to do it. About a month ago, I started to realize that the happy, joyful person that I'm known for was waning, meaning disappearing, not completely there. And it was because the art side is as much as my DNA as the practical side. Okay. I'm basically more of a 5-year-old than I am an adult, but I have been forced, especially with my parents and with other parts of my life, to be the adult in the room. And that's challenging when that happens to an artist who likes to be flighty and silly and flowers and fun and create, you know. That's the situation. And I realized that I second guess, third guess, fourth guess everything I do except for my art. So when I'm in my art studio, I can just throw caution to the wind and just create. I'm in my safe space and I'm just making something magical, hopefully. So that's what I need to balance when I go out in life. When I'm driving my car, I triple check, look over my shoulder, look at the mirror, da 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 da, look in the front, watch out because someone could come in front of me, keep some distance. When I text, I look at it 3 times before I send it. A drink. The choking fit comes from hear my voice and it's wavering. This comes from at times when it decides to, not when I get to decide. A medication I take decides to rob me of all the moisture in my mouth and throat, and I choke because you need that moisture. You saw I wasn't eating anything. You saw I didn't take a drink of anything, but this happens, and I just got to ride it out. So sorry about that, but you saw it here first. So yeah, so know that if what you do for entertainment, fun, your job, whatever, make sure that that part is fulfilled. And I went and fulfilled it this weekend. And I'm not going to lie, I had a great time. Oh my gosh. I had the most fun ever. Yeah, I am just super excited. Forgive me a minute. I'm looking around for something. Oh well. Anyway, I'll find it later. But the point is that that's what I'm saying when you know yourself. If you start to find yourself be cranky, depressed, unusually irritable, unusually excitable, you want to take a moment and take a breath, and it can't always happen. Trust me. This is a couple weeks ago. I kind of lost it over could not being able to find a letter. So that's when I realized I needed to really sit back and take some time, have a cup of tea, and analyze what's going on. And a lot of times, if you can't do that, that's where therapists come in because they'll help you to find out what it is inside your psyche or your emotional balance that is unbalanced. Meditation works, listening to sounds that you like or watching a movie that lifts you up can all work too. It's just what works for you. So for me, it was visiting people. I hadn't seen people in a long time. Of course, during the pandemic, we were isolated from everybody, which was seriously weird. But now when I visit people, I notice that my spirit is coming back, that my joy is coming back as I meet people face to face. So this is super important. I had a very dear friend pass away suddenly, and I still don't think I'm dealing with it 100%. To be honest with you, his name was Steve Mutz, and he's a great guy. And he just laid down one day and didn't wake up. And ouch. I think one of the reasons I'm not dealing with it or might become emotional at a couple of events that are coming up, it's because those were the events we always met for easily over 15, almost 15, 20 years. We would connect there. So I made sure I went to his celebration of life, which was about an hour away from me, an hour and 10 minutes or whatever. And the family was really glad that I had taken the time. And I just didn't, honestly, to all of you, I didn't think that this was an option not to do. There was never any question that I was not going. I went. He was a big deal and a really good friend, and he meant a lot to me. And then he was gone, and it felt a lot like ET. Ouch. That's what it felt like. I mean, if there was one word to say, the pain, it was there. So you got to know what you're going through and allow yourself to go through it. I often find that strong people, and I'm going to say it this way, tend to be strong. They don't want to let others see their vulnerability. And you need to be someplace where you can release that which makes you vulnerable if you're someone who is not comfortable sharing it with others. And I found that with the family members at the celebration of life, as they kept saying they were sorry as they cried from the stage, but they're sad. Their brother, their sister, his brother, his sister, both lost him suddenly and didn't and had regrets. Many people had regrets. I have no regrets. I know, but I do know that I will miss him a lot, and I have not yet fully felt that. So I'm in touch with the family. I never knew the extent of his family. We talked mostly Disney. A lot of times he's that kind of a guy. He'd like to tell me about my life because he had kind of a historical brain. So he would tell me he'd been following my course, my work, following my work, and would just go on and on and on. And it was lovely. He was just really fun just to sit and talk. My number one thing, if I was going to put something up here to remind me of him, it would be a parking lot, because whenever I did a show that he was in the vicinity of, he would come out to the parking lot and help me load in, and would stay all day and then help me load out. And all the time he would do this. And then he'd say, "Can I tag along for lunch?" And of course you can tag along for lunch. Are you kidding? So that was the thing. So basically, know yourself and give yourself a chance to grieve if that's what you're pushing back. Whatever you're pushing back, sit somewhere quiet or wherever works for you. park, ocean, beach, or home in a quiet spot, and let it come, because holding it inside can be detrimental to you. And then if you need help, a therapist or a good friend is often a really great thing to happen, because I have been through some rough stuff, which I won't continue to tell you about. But that's what I mean. And stepping back, even if you're an artist, when you're an artist or anything, it's good to walk away from something and come back and you get a better picture. So that's also what I mean about taking a breath. So this weekend, I have a painting I'm doing for the Red Dot Society, Chuck Jones, and I have some cachets I'm entering in a contest. Cachet is an envelope. I'll explain that in detail another time. But there's a contest and there is a charity, and I have another painting I need to do for a charity as well. I'd like to. It's not required, but I'd really like to do it. And since I paint, I let it dry. Now, with acrylics, you can always use a hairdryer if you want to speed it up. But what I find is better for me is to have two projects going, and then I'm painting one, and then I go and work on the other one. And that allows me to turn completely away from painting and be sketching. Or in the case of what I'm doing next, I'll be painting and sculpting. That way I force myself to turn away from the project. Otherwise you hyper focus on it. Have you ever done that? If you're an artist who paints, now there's artists who do other things. Remember, I've told you, people who are passionate about what they do are artists. Yeah, I've got a cleaning lady who I found is an artist. I've never seen anyone clean like her in my life. Woo, she's amazing. She definitely is the maestro of cleaning. She is definitely the Michelangelo of cleaning. Details. So whatever you do, just know if you're passionate about it, you can call yourself an artist, okay? We don't just paint and perform and all of that. We do all kinds of things, which is often what I say on the Patreon page. So there you go. But anyway, this forces me to look away from my project. And when I come back, I see it in a whole new light. Thus, what happened to me last night as I am painting this piece that needs to be done today for the Red Dot Society, the Red Dot Auction, which is Red Dot Auction 13. So please take a look at it. And if you're an artist, reach out to them and see if you can donate a painting, or watch the online auction to see what people do, and then ask to do it next year for Red Dot 14. Okay. But the point is, they will send you a canvas, you paint it, you send it in, and you help them raise money. And it's a lot of fun, and also get you out there. I will tell you more about that. But anyway, you turn away from the piece and then you look back. So I was working on the painting and I was trying to get to a stopping point so I could go in and work on the cachets. And it was a long bout with this painting. I was experimenting with something that I did not know how to do. So it was do it. No, I don't like it. Do it. No, I don't like it. Do it. No, I don't like it. I'm sure you've been there. And if you paint or whatever you're doing, photograph, whatever, you hit that zone. And when I looked up, it was dark. But luckily, my husband had come in maybe a few minutes before I was going to stop. There he is, my old friend, Scam Likely again. And I said, does it look like anything? Am I doing okay? I feel like, because you get this time when you start to think that it's not looking great. You're just going down this rabbit hole, pardon the pun. And he looked at it and said, it looks great. So I stepped back and, oh yeah, it did. But I had gotten so wrapped up in it for just a touch too long that it was great to have someone else come in and say, and when I pulled back and saw it, I was like, oh my God, it does look good. So the final phases of it's going to happen today, and I hope I can bring it all together. But my point is that you want to step away from your pieces that you're doing, so that, have a couple going, so that you can actually have fresh eyes on this piece and really appreciate it for what, appreciate your work for what you're doing. So that's what I mean about stepping back and taking a breath and whatever. And finally, before I go over to your comments, I want to just really quickly tell you about a new discovery. I love learning new things. And one of the people in the tribe is this amazing person who he's fairly new. And he's really, really, really quite talented. And his name is David Skipper. And maybe you guys know David. David has done a one-man show as Walt Disney. Studies, historian, that kind of brain, this kind of lots of knowledge, lots of stuff in his head. Pretty impressive to me. A lot more. I don't know if I've ever met him in person, but he's been in the tribe and been very, very instrumental and helpful. He reached out to me and, well, actually, it's not really what happened. I went to a birthday party at Disneyland for one of the tribe members who just became a cast member, first name Evan. And I went to Evan's party and I was able to come to lunch. That couple of days before, I had slipped and fell and torn the toenail on my toe. So I wasn't walking the best way. So I apologized that I wasn't going to be able to spend most of the day with him. Instead, I said, let me just come for lunch, visit with you, and then I should come home because this foot is really bothering me. And he was fine with that. And while I was there, my friend Stephanie Fix, also a tribe member, was reading this volume. Do I have it here? Yes. I think she was reading volume 26 of this book. Have you guys seen these Walt's People books? If you have, post in the comments that you have. I just found these out from David Skipper, and he was sweet enough to send me a list and to tell me that this lovely editor, Didier Getz, I think is how you say his name. If not phonetically, tell me how to say it. But anyway, she handed me this book, and I did not want to give it back to her, okay? Because it's all about people like me. Imagineers and animators and awesome people. And so I collect books, so I had to be careful. What I did is get as many on a Kindle as I could, but then if I can't get it on a Kindle, then I got them here because I wanted to grab them, get them while they're hot. And you can see that it's all text. If you don't know about these, what are they if you don't know about them? If you do know about them, tell me your impression of them, how much you love them. But I'm going to pull out volume 9. I have Searches Everywhere, and volume 9 has one of my favorite people in it, Margaret Carey. Margaret and I have known each other for a very, very long time. She is the Tinkerbell that was the model for the original Peter Pan, Disney's Peter Pan, and she's quite a joy, and she's going to be here at the Disneyana Fan Club show and sale among a plethora of other people. Mindy Johnson, Willie Ito, myself, just a lot of cool people are going to be there. So that's May 6th and 7th. Yes, the weekend of the 6th and 7th. The expo is free on the 7th. Guys, check it out. DisneyAnaFanClub.org. You will be very impressed if you're in the Anaheim area near Disneyland. You're going to love it. But this book right here, which I was really excited, I found it for $9, and look at the quality of it. It's new for $9. I was just like, woohoo! I like those finds, right? But what is it? So this amazing person is an editor, a book editor. Down here, you probably can't read it. Edited by Didier Getz, and his later issue. So this is an early issue, and this is a later issue, and you'll see some changes. He boldly goes where no man has gone before. He also at the bottom, talking Disney with the artists who knew him, and that here it's smaller, but here you can really see it. Same with the side. It's like this is a little challenging. This one's really he really. Somebody said, "Hey, bold that up. Speak with gusto, my friend." In any case, what he does is several interviewing type people have interviewed artists. And at the front, if we just crack the page, I want to crack the page of the Margaret Carey one because she is a personal friend. Well, I've got several personal friends in here, so because I was Imagineer for a long time. So here we have in the table of contents, you will look to see that certain people were interviewed by other people. So for example, Ken Anderson was interviewed by Dave Smith, and that's in here. That chapter is in here. Ken Anderson was also interviewed, and Ken Anderson's a real good friend of mine. He did Shere Khan. So when I became an Imagineer, he was one of the first people that I hunted and stalked until I could find him. Very lovely person. By Christopher Finch and Linda Rosenkrantz. So you've got that. And then you've got several people in here that you like. 3 Disney Story Guys, Pete Young, Fred Lucky, and Vance Gary by Floyd Norman. Now, this is a really exciting thing I'm dying to read here because Floyd Norman, as you know, is an animator. I never thought of him as an interviewer, so it's going to be very fun to read that chapter. And I get the feeling you can bounce around. They're not in chronological order, I don't think, but they seem to be just, if the earlier books touch on different, they just are amazing. I'm so grateful I'm so grateful to David. Because I had no idea about these books. I work under a hot light. And what I'm finding out is a lot of my Disney pals who know Disney backwards, forwards, and underneath and topside didn't know about them either, which is why I'm telling you, I discovered a new thing. And check it out. Walt's People. Just Google them and look for them. Abe Books is good. eBay, be careful, because the earlier volumes like this one, they want to sell for a lot. And I got it for $9. I got one for $7, and look at how beautiful it is, and you can go on Amazon and see how many are on a Kindle. So if you've got a Kindle or the Kindle app, this is a great way to watch them because they're all text. So if you're okay with the lighter, easier to travel with tablet, then bingo bango, you got it, right? So that's what I've been doing, as many of these on my iPad as I can get, but many volumes are not available. So you got to dig. So, and if they become available later, I will pass these on to people who like the books like me. I love just flipping through. For example, if I just open this one, this is an interview. Let's see whose interview this is. This is, I'm going to go to the front. Jack Cutting, 1908 to 1988, interviewed by Christopher Finch and Lyndon Rosencrantz on May 4th, 1972. How about that, guys? How many of you were not even born then? I was. Jack Cutting passed away August 17th, 1988. I'm taking the point of view that Walt was a great impresario and a great story man and somebody who could pull everything together. He may not have been an illustrator in his own right, but he was a tremendous creative force. At the same time, I'm trying to give full credit to Walt for what he did, but I'm also going to try to give credit to everybody else I know is possible. And Jack Cutting says, you're touching on a very significant point, and that is Walt was the catalyst. And that's what we always say. If we've been Imagineers or we've been animators, we knew that Walt was the one who brings the amazing people together. Okay. And that is just as important as being that amazing person, is to have someone scouting and looking for you. So when I went into the middle of the page here at volume 9, this question was, to Jack was, how do you do Donald Duck in Russian? That's intriguing, isn't it? So it's full of stuff like that. And if I come back here to the Margaret Carey section, Margaret and I have been friends for a long time. Before she wrote her book, before I wrote my book, we were talking from the stage together several times. And one time we were out near Yosemite National Park, and we stayed with the host, and the host had little twin beds, and we were like girls at a dormitory kind of a thing. You felt like you were in college. We both had a great time that time. So let's see where she is in here. I'm going to look her up. Here, Margaret Carey by Jim Corcus on page 177, just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Because these are really fun, guys. If you don't know about these, they are just incredible. Margaret Carey Peggy Lynch was born May 11th, 1929 in LA, California. By the age of 5, she was already performing in Little Rascals Our Gang comedies. Okay, she was cast in the movie If You Know Susie. I tell you guys, this woman is amazing. She is a mover and a shaker, Miss Margaret, and the model for Tinkerbell, among other things, like me. Just because we did one thing for Disney or one thing for movies or something doesn't mean that we are a many faceted diamond as much as you are. So check out those books if you're interested. First, get a Kindle edition. The Kindle editions are like, a couple of bucks and really, really worth it. And again, I got to thank David L. Skipper for doing this for me. Okay, really, really amazing. So that's what I mean. Discovering something new builds up your energy, gets you excited, makes you happy, right? Okay, absolutely fabulous. What do you have to say today? Let's see what you've got on your mind, David Lewis. Good morning, David Lewis. My Alabama house is on the market. I hope to be in California. Oh, well, how about that? Well, let us know when you're done with Sweet Home Alabama, where skies are blue. So I look forward to seeing you when you finally get over here. That's really good news. Hi, Terry and friends. Happy Monday. Hello, Angie. You're nice and early today, darling. Hi there, Martha. Love you, Terry. Oh, thank you, Martha. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Terri TV. You may have, if you've been with me early on the YouTube channel, Facebook as well, you can see that I'm going through a metamorphosis. And this is because my husband retired last year and I am looking to see what's fun for me to do on this channel. And I'm doing it like Terri TV. So just to report on a few things. I don't really report on religion or politics just because you've got a lot of channels that'll do that. Pros, cons, anger, happy, whatever. So we just kind of keep it light here. And if you have a debate with each other, just make sure you don't insult each other. That's all I ask. Don't attack the person, attack the issue. I know that many governments don't do that, but please, let's be bigger than that and not attack each other. Just have a good, strong, yummy debate, which I love those, by the way. And thank you, Martha. Thank you very much. Good morning, Carla. Bobardine says, good morning, Terry. And your fans, don't yawn. You're making me yawn. Yes, that little quick little yawn. And I don't know where it came from. Probably because after I coughed, I sucked in a lot of air. Deep breath. Maybe talk a little slower. Good morning, Joe Penny. Did anyone here go to the TCM Classic Film Festival in Hollywood this past weekend? It was from Thursday through yesterday. I've never been, but I would love to go to one of these days. I did for a day when it first happened, but I haven't. No. I did, however, go to visit Turner Classic Movies main production house in Atlanta, which was really great, and sat in on one of the film presentations. Got to meet Mankiewicz. It was fun. It was cool. It was very cool. I would like to see them stick with older movies. They're starting to get into movies that weren't old to me. I always am praying for more black and whites, and we started to watch one. Well, actually, we were going to watch one yesterday. My husband wasn't in the mood to watch it. We tried to watch another one on Canopy. I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you have a library card, the libraries often have these special channels where you can watch movies. It has a ticker up in the corner, and you can watch so many movies a month without paying because they're free to you every month. And for us, it's Canopy, and the number is 10. We exhausted that already watching a couple of movies, and we just something that was not funny and something that didn't really hold our interest. And once you click on it, that counts as one of the movies. So we went back, and there was a movie that we had in our repertoire of DVD collection, and I said, I hadn't watched this one in a while, and I just relaxed. It started out and I wanted to finish watching it, but I just got swept. We had a lovely dinner, and I had gotten to relax my back and curled up next to my husband, and we talked for a little bit, decided to watch this movie, and I was gone. And I woke up this morning. So sometimes that happens when you get all my back sometimes just doesn't yell at me, doesn't scream at me. It's not real back pain, but boy, when you lay against it with some support, it goes, ah. I mean, I can actually hear my back going, ah. Yeah, so the festival is really great. It has some people that you love there. I know that Floyd Norman appeared there. I'd like to appear there sometime. They haven't invited me yet, but I definitely like to be there, and I also like to be a guest host for Turner Classic Movies. I don't know if they do that much anymore. I don't get to watch a lot of television, but no, I haven't been. But Joe, I like you. I wouldn't mind going. I think it would be a lot of fun. Michael Clarkey, how are you? Good to see you. Cindy says, unfortunately, no. Our next event will be Disneyana in May. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So I'll see you there. Be sure to stop by the table. It's going to be amazing. I mean, the lineup on Saturday is phenomenal. And then Sunday, it's 2 rooms full of yummy stuff. So if you want to protect your wallet, maybe you shouldn't go. No, go and then see people you want to see. Margaret's going to be there. You get to take pictures with her, maybe take up an item. Just she's such a pleasure. And she no longer lives here in California. So it's an opportunity that you shouldn't miss, to be honest with me. You know, I mean, seriously, you should not miss it. I'm not going to miss it. I love her and her husband, Bob, right? Yeah. Ooh, amazing. True love in the 90s, meaning not the year in the 90s, but at 90 years old, she found some more true love. She's a very blessed lady and a very lovely lady, and she deserves everything that she gets. She's just a great, great person. So try to do it. Carla says, my husband is developing a podcast. Oh my gosh. Well, you be sure that if I can be a guest, I'm happy to help him get started. Okay, Carla, more than happy to be on his show. To help. Podcasting is very challenging. People told me I should do it, and I'm like talking to podcasters, and they go, "Don't do it, don't do it. It's hard. It's difficult. Ah, you've got enough on your plate, Terry." So that's what they're saying, Carla. They're not saying your husband shouldn't do it. They're saying, Terry, don't add this to your plate. You will be sorry. So that's what that message is. Me too, Joe. We love TCM. We need to hurry up. We are losing a lot of stars. Yes, pretty soon it's going to be secondhand knowledge. It is, isn't it? But you know what's lovely about these stars is they live through their films. I'm a huge Claude Rains fan. In fact, I said to my husband, I'd like to do a playlist of Claude Rains films. He is just so amazing. So versatile, so fabulous, so fun. His Phantom of the Opera is one of my favorite because it has heart. It pulls at my heartstrings. Yeah, I really, really love Claude Rains. He's just a very versatile actor. And whenever I miss him, I can watch him on the screen. And that's the same with some that we've lost early or later, like this past Academy Awards when they started to show us people, and I was like, ouch, again. I can just watch movies, Alan Rickman, who is a big favorite of mine. I'll watch him in Galaxy Quest and also Die Hard, because they're 2 really different, fun, exciting characters, and I love that. So yeah, so the thing is when you lose them, you can go back and you can watch them, which is lovely about people who do films and television. A lot of fun, very special, very, very, very special. I hope your parents are doing well and excited you are finding some time, Terry time. But I think you are always the person holding up all the spinning plates. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Sometimes I'm a really good actress. Don't look back behind the screen. Everything is good here, front of house. Sometimes you don't get to see back of house, do you? But no, thank you, Angie. That's really, really sweet of you to say, and I appreciate those words of encouragement. Because I'll tell you, there were some times I was like that cat. You remember that cat that stuck to your window that was like, it wasn't Garfield, but it looked a lot like Garfield, and he was always stressed. like that. There have been a few days in the past months that have been like that. But what I'm learning is that this year seems to be that way for many of you. Whatever the challenges may be, there have been those times where you feel like this cat. And so, hey, just know that you're not alone. And I feel you. And try to, find a quiet place and think. And all of a sudden you'll realize, what would really help me is to talking to people in person and hearing about what's going on with them. And it's been the best medicine I could possibly have. I actually sat down with gallery owner Marianne Lewis, and it was wonderful just to have a nice lunch with her and hear her talk about things. I don't think we did a lot of, we did some Disney talk, because she's a gallery. She's not a Disney gallery, but Disney is a major part of her gallery, but she also has other cool stuff at her gallery. And it was wonderful to be at her gallery and featured at her gallery, and also to be a part of the Lewis galleries. But it was great to have her and sit with her and just talk about other cool stuff. Yeah. 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 As well as my friend Josie, who travels a lot, and I haven't been able to travel. So she just got back from a killer trip to Egypt, and I was worried about her because she was injured. She had to have crutches, but she managed. She managed just fine, and she got to see the pyramids and the Sphinx. And she hasn't told me all the story, but just that little teaser that she's been telling me about has been absolutely phenomenal. So some of these people who can do these are free to travel. Let's say it that way, are free to travel. And right now I'm not. It's just so exciting to do it that I kind of live vicariously through you. On the Patreon page, we have Sam the Van, and he travels in a big van all over United States, and it's been wonderful. He's a brilliant photographer and a really good author, and so I subscribe to his page and get to learn a lot about what he's seeing and doing, and about spots that are in the United States. It's been joyful to do that. So I'm starting to just check out some of my friends, and because sometimes you can get in your own magma, can't you? And you feel like you're drowning. And then all of a sudden you go, let me just put this spotlight on somebody else. Let's take it off of me and put it on somebody else. I've been kind of featuring the me show a bit too much, and over to someone and see what they're doing and how they're doing and what's going on. And it's been great, been just lovely. So that's something that can happen if you get into the situation where you're feeling kind of me. Then get on that by visiting your friends. Michael says, planning a Disney trip to Disneyland in November for a Life Day. Ooh, nice. Let me know when you're in town as soon as you can, and maybe we can meet up. Okay, Michael? But you got to tell me early. Yeah, got to tell me early. Someone came in and said, how about this weekend? I'm like, no! So time. Give me time. Angie says, side note, finally was able to get my Disneyland and DCA reservation for August. Super excited to finally, yay, Angie! August. Let me know what day, okay? We'll see if we can get out there to see you. Pardon moi. We have a chalk walk. Remember I told you. Or maybe you didn't. Those of you who are new, welcome. I should have said that. Those of you seeing this after live, welcome. I am a charity. I love charities. I love to be a part of charities. And if you have a charity you want me to donate or create something for, just make sure you give me enough time. And the fee is a gala ticket. So I like to go to the galas and explain my art. So that's the criteria. And many charities are more than happy to give you a gala ticket for your efforts, and I really make a big effort. But Chalk Walk is Children's Hospital of Orange County. I've been a part of it for quite some time. I can't remember when I started, but I think I've been 6 times since. They used to do it in October, and I'm also a pumpkin sculptor, so they would always have it on like the 23rd or the 30th. Both days are always booked as a pumpkin teacher because we're coming to Halloween. So I could never participate, and it really broke my heart. I would always donate, but I really couldn't participate. Well, then they changed it to California's favorite month and super hot month, August. But it opened it up for me to be a part of it, and I've been a part of it ever since with my walking team. And the Chalk Walk weekend is the 20th of August. So I'm very excited. We're actually going to get to walk again, and we're just fired up. We're excited. Last year we were the biggest. We were the award-winning donation team. We donated more than even Disney. We raised, what I mean is we fundraised. We were the #1 fundraiser for last year's Chalk Walk, and that's been a dream of my team captain for a long, long time. So the Disney walkers, the Mickey's Disney walkers, I think it's called. Yeah, Mickey's Walkers. Maybe it's Mickey's Walkers because it was Mickey's OUAC Walkers. We just changed it. But Mickey's Walkers this year, that's who we're called. We're the team. We're a team of about just 100 people, I think. And we really worked hard to help her to be the #1 fundraiser. What happens when you're the #1 fundraiser? Oh, you probably get some, woo, good for you, pat on the back type thing. I'm sure there's more involved. I've never had the pleasure, so my team this time had the pleasure, and it was great to see her. But what was great is people suddenly said, "Who are you again? What's your team name?" Like, you're standing in a group and nobody notices you, and then all of a sudden something extraordinary, you do something extraordinary, and the light goes on, and you go, "Who is that person?" And you've been there all the time, but all of a sudden you've done something fabulous. And we all came together and worked very, very hard to make this happen for her and for us, but mostly for her. And she's just so generous. She's not about that goal, but she did share it with us one time at a weak moment of hers. And we all just got together and said, the way she leads us, the way she takes care of us, how sweet she is, Miss Sharon, that we were going to do it. And we all did it. We all did it. She did it. We did it. All of us did it together. And it was fantastic. It was really, really very exciting for us to know that she was #1. Just really super cool. And this year, who knows? More people will be happening. Will we be #1 again? Honestly, once is great, and we'll always strive to do as much fundraising as we can because this charity is very special to us. Children's Hospital Orange County. The walks are fun. We get to walk through Disneyland, and Disneyland has let us know that we get to do that again. Last year we didn't get to walk. We did a sort of a what was it called? Like an after hours party. It was fun. I liked it, but it wasn't the walk. When you walk, you meet a lot of people that you don't know. When you party, you sometimes, especially we were in California Adventure, it was so huge that you'd meet some people and sort of kind of meet people here. I remember I got to pose with characters, and one of the handlers for, what was the character? Saw my dreadlocks and thought I was pretending to be Jack Sparrow until I told her they were mine. Mine. I like Jack Sparrow, but that's not why I have dreadlocks. It was a fun moment. Definitely a fun moment. How do you talk yourself out when you think that you tell somebody their hair is a wig? Yeah, don't let it come out of your mouth. Think first. Wait 3 seconds before you get into an intersection. Has so many connotations to help you. Reread your text, your emails. Wait 3 seconds before pulling out into an intersection just to be safe, since some crazy person might be doing something they shouldn't. And wait before you speak. Make sure form your words. Doesn't always happen, but once said, you can't say them. Once seen, you can't unsee it. So wait 3 seconds before the intersection is a big deal. And it's not mine. It's something that Jim Rohn, an amazing speaker, the #1 speaker in my book, said to me when I got to meet him. I was just so enamored by his words and his magical, somewhat supernatural qualities, in my opinion. I used to put his CD into my CD player, CD being a little round disc that plays music or whatever, slide it into the CD player of my car, and it always hit where I needed to hear, which was really weird because it's a CD pre-recorded. So how did he do that? I don't know. He was Jim Rohn, magical. Wait 3 seconds before the intersection is what that's all about. Carla says, "Oh, how amazing. We are going to the show and sale, and we will see Margaret. You're going to see so many people, my dear, that you haven't seen in a while. Everybody's coming out. So many cool people are going to be there. It's going to be fun. And me too. I'm always there, though, aren't I?" Bob says, "Someone mentioned the Disneyana event. The dinner is the 6th of May, correct? Amazing. Hope you can make it. By the way, Floyd Norman, so many Disney celebrities will be attending. There it is. The stars are out on that day. If you can make May 6th at the dinner, it's going to be huge. There are some amazing people going to be there. And then there is a opportunity for signing too. But it's going to be great. You guys are going to have a great time. So I hope you'll come. And Sunday is free. Starting at 10 o'clock. Early birds get in at 9, and that has a fee attached to it. But if you really need to get in there before anybody else, then you can learn that. Again, DisneyAnaFanClub.org. So I hope you can make it. It just occurs to me that you remind me of my cherished friend, Marianne King from Romper Room. She would call out the names of the children viewers. Bravo, Terry, you make us feel important. You know, this is the part that some people like and some people don't. So if you're going to start a YouTube channel, and many of you may have had that in the back of your mind, or as Carla has said, a podcast, this is something that you have to decide if you want to do. I personally like to talk to, it feels like, I mean, if you've never done this before, and if you're watch it, but you've never actually done this bit, you're talking to a light right there. You're chatting in a room all alone by yourself at a light. So looking at your comments helps me feel like I'm talking to you directly. So it's not just for you, it's for us. Okay. Full disclosure, I will always tell you the truth. I will always be open. You can ask me just about anything. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. Da, 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 da. Ask Me Anything Friday. Yeah, what's that? Do you just stop doing it? You're not going to do it anymore, Terry. We figured you were done. Blase, blase, blase. Da, 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 da. I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything Friday on the 28th of, it'll be kind of a shortish one. It'll start and it'll end at 11. Because I'm speaking with someone at 11. But between when we start, 9:35 to 11, we'll do Ask Me Anything Friday. And this week, this Friday, I won't be broadcasting, but I will pop in to tell you Ask Me Anything Friday is coming on April 28th. April 28th. So I will pop in next week, remind you, and I will pop in. I will post and try to let you know that it's going to happen. So tell your friends to join me and ask me questions that you want to. I'm just, I wanted to bring on some new stuff, wanted to do more pre-recorded stuff because full disclosure, guys, I'm being told by people who have YouTube channels that the pre-recorded stuff is what you guys like and the lives are fun, but you guys usually like the pre-recorded stuff and the live events. If it turns out that you just like the live events more, then we will shift. But I'm experimenting because I'm trying to find the best bed of feathers to lay in to make a channel that's fun for me and fun for you. Any suggestions, let me know in the comments or private message me. I'm always open to what you think would be fun to see from me. Okay? I would love your advice because this is not the venue that I am in. Social media is something that I am learning every day about because I'm 65, almost 66 years old, and I'm used to talking to you in person. That's the way I was raised, and that's what I like the best. I mean, most honestly, that is what I like the best. So, yeah. Okay, so we got that going. Truth be told, and I'll always tell you the truth. Okay? All right. Subscribe if this is fun for you. Tell your friends it might be fun for them. But love having you today under any circumstances. Okay. Big hugs for you, my friend. I got to go. Bye, Carla. Keep me posted on that podcast, even if it's not one that I can be a guest. I'd love to hear how he's doing. Okay. It would be the highlight of my trip to see you. I'll be there for a week. Okay, Angie. So keep me posted. All right. Keep me posted. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Mike Pruitt, how are you? Mike says, "Hi, Terri, how are you? I like the part when the game show host." Oh, we've been missing you, Mike. Can we accept the answer? Yes, we can. Can we accept the answer? Absolutely. All right, friends, family, loves. As I told you, I have a couple of serious deadlines today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for popping in. I love you all so much. It means a lot to me when you take the time to pop in and see and have a conversation with me, tell you how tell me how you are doing and allow me to tell you how I am. Just really, really, really love it. And if you want to step it up a bit, please consider Terri's Tribe, patreon.com/Terri Hardin, and be a part of the tribe. Your voice needs to be heard. We want to hear from you. So I hope you will consider that. And I will see you. I won't see you Friday, but I will do an announcement. And then the next time we'll be chatting will be the Ask Me Anything on the 29th. Few things I got to take care of with family. So I'm going to take this opportunity to do that. I know you understand because you're a great group of people, but I will pop in periodically and let you know, say howdy. Okay. All right, guys. I love you bunches. I'm very grateful, very thankful. And thank you, Angie. Let me know about August. Okay. All right, guys. Be well. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. And that's the truth for real. Okay. Have fun. And we'll